For me, and I think for many other senior people in our team, it was not about the games. It was actually about the legacy. And rarely do you get the opportunity to be involved in something where you can see that, yes, you've got this short-term goal, which is to deliver a successful Olympic Games. You can't spend that many £billion on a 6-week party, which is fundamental sporting party, which is really what the Olympics is. You've got to be able to turn around in 10 to 20 years' time and still believe that it was worthwhile London hosting the Games, and therefore that legacy challenge was in many ways more exciting than the immediacy of just simply building a series of venues to host sport. Well, as the chairman and as a non-executive chairman, your skills are different from those of the chief executive, who's leading the team on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis. And for me, the role which David and I sorted out between us, I faced externally. And in facing externally to politicians, to the media, to the innumerable stakeholders who were sort of interested in what we were doing, fundamentally it was creating an air of confidence. So for me it was about going out there and, in a sense, reassuring people and giving people confidence that this was going to work, this was going to be successful, we weren't going to overrun the budget, we weren't going to miss the dates, and then equally radiating internally that self-belief, and enabling people to feel that, yeah, you know, this is good, we are succeeding, this is going to go well, because when you have self-belief, you will always perform that much better. It was easy for me, I have to say, on this particular project, because in David Higgins as the chief executive, I had a really first-class chief executive. David and I knew one another a bit before I took the job, so I was confident I was going to be able to work with David. And I think it was particularly important is you're having that relationship where the two of you know that you can wander into the other's office. It isn't about formality and formal meetings, and that, in a sense, you're both there as sounding boards for the other. And clearly for me it was a matter of always being available for David whenever he wanted to discuss something, because it's a pretty lonely job as a chief executive. It was inevitable we were going to finish on time, because that was the overriding factor, so you weren't going to miss that. The question therefore became, did you achieve it in an efficient manner? And so for us it was very much working to within the budget, and in fact we've come in about £1 billion under the budget, and delivering it safely. And in fact we've not had a single fatal accident in the construction period. Using the opportunity to take people out of unemployment, 10% of the people who've worked on the park were previously unemployed, and giving training opportunities to people. So in many ways it was sort of taking an opportunity to raise the bar within our own sector, which became objectives in addition to this fundamental one of knowing that in fact it had to be delivered on time. Transport is a key issue for the Games, one in which you can only plan and then respond, because you can plan as to what you think is going to happen, but on the day it may well turn out to be different to what you'd expected. You'll get the inevitable failures of the system at times. That you know that's going to happen. It's how that's dealt with and the impact which it has on spectators, particularly, and their enjoyment of the day. So we're going to be very much focused on that. And then of course the other unknown is security, and that is a budget which has increased considerably in the last year, as people inevitably, I suppose, want to try and reduce the risk, and particularly for politicians who have to make the final decisions on resources in the security area. So security and transport are our two big concerns, and if we can get through the Games, come out the other end with having had a success in those two areas, then that will be the ultimate sort of icing on the cake for us. I had a boss once who always used to say to me, particularly when writing letters, build a little bridge behind yourself. In other words, don't go out and totally expose and commit yourself, because we're not always as certain as we like to claim about the things which we're managing and the philosophies and policies that we're pursuing, and therefore leaving a bit of breathing space, as it were, behind you, that you can back into is not a bad thing.